All right, it's Coach Ryan from Team Flex. Today we're going to dive into the Arnold Classic Bikini. We're going to look at these competitors. We're going to break down the placings, why they landed the way they did. Also talk a little bit about the overall winner who attained the pro card, what this means for all you bikini competitors out there this season, 2025, what you need to be doing to do your best on stage. And I'm doing videos like this 24/7 on this channel, so if you're new here, subscribe. If you're hanging out with me a long time, drop me a comment. I love hearing from my viewers here on what you guys are liking, what you're doing. Actually, I'm doing this video because a lot of you commented you wanted some Arnold Amateur bikini. Well, here we go. So this is Class D. We're going to look at our top five in Class D and kind of go through their placings, talk about why they landed the way they did, and ultimately where the direction, the criteria is for this division. So first and foremost, this class does contain the overall winner, which is Uliana, okay? We talked about her actually doing the fit challenge, muscle contest fit challenge. If you guys didn't watch that video, she won the overall there. She's now gone to Arnold, won the pro card. So huge congratulations to her. We had second place over here, Saki, and then we have Bristol over here in third, okay? So this is our top three, and we'll look at fourth and fifth here in a bit. Let's talk a bit about it. Bikini, as we know, all about the hourglass shape. It's all about symmetry, shape, proportion, really tying that all together. And that comes from a combination of the shoulders, tapering into the waist, and having the lower body, glutes, quads, hamstrings, everything match. So Uliana wins the overall at the fit challenge, comes over here, wins Arnold, and, you know, very clear that she is the most symmetrical in the group as we go through. So I'm seeing this across the board right now. Bikini competitors, listen to me here when I say this. Maybe even write this down. Put this on your bathroom mirror. Symmetry is your best friend 2025, okay? The most symmetrical physique that you can create. I'm seeing that win across the board at amateur right now and also into the pros, especially with Vanya's placing. If you didn't watch the other Arnold content, I did a ton of videos. Go check those out. But realistically, that's what we see again here in this lineup. Like Uliana really has good shoulder shape, overall development, very narrow waist. Huge, like that line I just didn't even write. There it is. Very narrow waist, right? So this dramatic V-taper look that I always talk about for bikini, lock it in, get it dialed. You need that. You really need that this season, and especially more than ever been, right? Because it just appears to be showing up more and more across this division. Shape is the key this year. Shape is the thing. Lower body wise for her, good glute fullness, hamstrings and quads that match. No muscle group that is blatantly, you know, oh, that's a little too big, none that's a little too under, and overall just ties together that look. For her longevity wise, right, going to the pro league, gonna want to add more size, just a little bit more size, but overall that's a very complete look for her. Looking over here now at Saki, what we can see, good overall shoulder shape, everything tapers in. Again, a very narrow waist. What do you go figure? Top two at the Class D and the Arnold, very narrow waist. Okay, you gotta remember this in the amateur leagues. This is what you want to be aiming at, especially. So good shoulder shape, overall tapers in very well. I do want to highlight actually her lat, which is a good feature on her. You know, we don't talk about bikini having lats a lot because it's not really judged, not really scored. Where your lats can have an advantage for you is if they're doing what hers are doing here, okay? When they sweep you from that upper body dramatically into a very narrow waist, it's a good look. It's a good effect for judges, and they do like that, and it will probably reflect positively in your scoring. Looking lower body-wise, first thing that I can see is her glutes seem to be a bit underdeveloped, right? So still the shape and everything's there. Maybe adding a little bit more fullness there to match this upper body would be an advantage to her. Her hamstrings and her quads, you know, look like they could also maybe use just a little bit more muscle there, and they are kind of out of proportion in sense of her glute development. So we'll see when we get to the back, because that's what we always talk about. Back tells the whole story, but we'll get there in a second. So Bristol over here. Overall, good symmetry, shape, proportion. Keep in mind, all of these athletes are killing this. This is great placings, especially at the Arnold Amateur. And, you know, I'm just trying to give you all further insight here into how you can direct your season, also where judging and scoring may be going this year, right? So looking at her, a little bit more of a squared on approach for her pose, right? So she's going to automatically appear a little bit more dense in the waist there. And that's just because of the posing choice. Nothing wrong with it. You don't need to do this, but this, again, you know, is typically the more standardized bikini pose right now. So that's something to keep in mind. And it really has evolved into this more side pose, if you will, in a lot of ways. But realistically, looking at this, good shoulder shape overall, tapers into the waist, good lower body. Everything looks pretty good here. I would say her condition may appear to be just a little bit softer than the other two. Hard to tell from here. I imagine the back will tell the full story. Very close placings from all three of these in the front, no doubt. Let's go to the back. Okay, so here's where we get to see the differences. So for Uliana, you know, good shoulder shape, density, roundness, fullness. That's about where it should be for bikini. Tapers into the waist, good. Lower body, you know, everything here really, again, just nails on symmetry. So upper glute is there, overall glute, slight separation between glute and hamstring tie-in like judges want to see. And her quads and her hamstrings do not overpower any which way. So, you know, we're not getting too much quad, we're not getting too much hamstring, we're getting overall everything you would want to see on a bikini competitor here at this point. So no doubt wins the class, goes on, wins overall. You know, you could even say, looking at this, right, maybe a little bit underdevelopment. Like as I said, you know, going to the pros, she's going to want to add some more size, everything there. But this is a clear testament, if you ask me, from the judges. This symmetry is everything right now. Symmetry is everything right now in bikini. Focus on that symmetry. Please do it. All right. Looking over here at Saki, she, you know, gets very upper body dominant look here a bit, right? So we can see rear delt, a lot of shoulder going on, almost like a figure-esque type of a V tapered look. That can be a problem. That's a little bit too much upper body probably, right? Her lower body does kind of come through, but she's got heavy in the quads and it kind of, again, a bit under in the glutes. So that's, I think, a little bit of an asymmetry there for her, coupled with being too dominant up top. So pretty much filling out the glutes a little bit more, maybe toning down those quads and also toning down the upper body. But to me, that kind of also almost does look like a posing choice to a degree. So maybe influencing some of that. Bristol has a bit of the opposite effect. Good shoulder shape where it should be for this division. Just a little bit of that fullness, that roundness. Tapers in as much as you can know because her hair is down where it should be. That's exactly how your back pose should look. Her lower body looks a bit heavy, meaning, you know, just holding a lot more muscle. So she's got a lot of glute fullness overall, upper glute overall, dominance, tie-in is there, everything's there. Her glutes do stand out to be too dominant here though. And conditioning, like I said, may be a factor. Maybe that's a little bit of extra body fat she could tighten in and that wouldn't appear that way. But to me, it looks like she has a lot of muscle. So that may be a factor. A little bit of an opposite look from Saki here as far as what could be, you know, shifting these placings. But still, overall, great looks for this division. Very, very good look at the Arnold Amateur, especially. Very, very good look. Now, let's move to our fourth and our fifth. Josephine over here taking fourth, and then Becky taking fifth. And this is where we kind of move out a little bit more into seeing, okay, well, top three could be close. Fourth and fifth, you know, you start to get a better idea of what things are not being favored right now in bikini. We'll leave Uliana in the middle here, and we'll just let her hang out as we compare further. So Josephine, all the good markers, definitely a very lean look. Maybe the leanest in this top five. We'll have to see. Actually, I can just say it. She's definitely the leanest in the top five, right? She's got these ab lines coming through. She's got a very hard oblique, a little bit of that rib looking, a little bit more stringiness in the quads, more lines here. She's definitely the leanest in the group and placing fourth, okay? She does have the same symmetry. She has a lot of the same proportion. It looks very symmetrical, but definitely leaner. So again, judges making a move, which I've seen across the board right now with shows this season. Okay, like I've talked about it on the other videos. So if you didn't watch those, go check that out. You definitely need to look at that. But you know, with the introduction of Fit Model, it seems to have also brought a little bit more of all the divisions kind of falling back in the women's side to their original criteria in a lot of ways. So the leaner looks, not being necessarily favored right now. The more muscular looks, not being necessarily favored right now. So if you're having a hard time trying to figure out your look, do my free coaching trial. Okay, I've been trying to talk about it more and more. Free coaching trial, train with me free for 7 days in my online training platform. It's not something you want to miss out on. Great opportunity. You can send me your check-in, send me your stage shots, send me posing videos, do whatever. I'll give you feedback. I'll tell you what to work on. I'll even build you workouts custom to you that you can take with you to do what you need to do to make those changes, make those improvements. So that's always a link we offer in the description, and definitely not something you want to miss out on. Okay, check it out. So for Josephine, overall leaner look, I think that kind of does tie together that, you know, the leaner look not being necessarily favored here in bikini. We'll see when we get to the back, but so far that's what I can see. And Becky, again, maybe the next leanest athlete in this class, and she, again, places 5th. Also has the most upper body muscle, maybe overall muscle out of anyone in the group. So definitely a lot of shoulder size and density here, a little thicker in the waist just because of how much muscle she has. Glutes definitely prominent, quads, and also, you know, hamstrings, a lot of development, a lot of muscle, and very lean. So the biggest in the class, in the top 5 at least, and, you know, one of the leanest athletes placing 5th. Again, a clear sign from judges like, hey, this is the look we're going for here. We want symmetry, shape, proportion. We want you to have muscle development. We want you to all dial in. Like, you know, Uliana, for example, I'm pretty sure I had not really followed her journey, but she was a novice at the challenge, right? At the muscle contest challenge. She won the overall there, goes and wins a pro card. So she's fairly a new competitor, and she's performing very, very well thus far. So that's a pretty good sign for everybody out there, right? Like, criteria has shifted a lot more back to the roots. The bigger, leaner athletes, not necessarily going to be favored, at least as it sits this year. So far. Okay, now looking here from the back again, I always say the full story's told, and it gets told yet again. So for Josephine, very lean, a lot of lean look here, still good shoulder shape, everything's there, tapers in well, good glute shape here, all the muscles there. I think really for her, just too lean. I mean, she really did have good symmetry. It's kind of silly to say, but had she been just a bit softer, she may have taken second or won the class, right? So too lean is not going to favor you, all you bikini competitors out there. And I know everyone's always chasing them shreds, but come on now, we got to keep it going with the criteria here, and it appears the criteria right now could be shifting in those ways. And looking here at Becky now, Becky's definitely upper body forward, right? We got a lot of upper body dominance up top. Lower body seems to be kind of deprioritized in the sense of how this aesthetic looks, right? Like, it looks a bit under is what I mean. So lower body needs more glute, overall glute, everything here. Honestly, I would just say downsize upper body if this was somebody I was coaching. Just bring that down a bit. You know, don't come in too lean, and, you know, might be a whole different look and result. But clearly, I think that this, again, is another competition. I feel like I'm almost repeating myself video to video if you're watching me, but I'm doing these live. I do not pre-go, oh, what am I going to say about this? I do these live, these reviews. I'm looking at these the first time as you're watching it. That's the first time I've done it, right? The first time I've seen this, and I've looked at it, and I'm just seeing across the board, show to show right now, symmetry is becoming everything for bikini. Not overdoing your size is becoming everything for bikini, and also not overdoing your conditioning is becoming everything for bikini, which is silly to say because that's the root of bikini. That was what bikini was, and, you know, I've been coaching bikini for a long time, and that's what it's always been. Started to get away from that look for a bit, but we're seeing consistently right now the athletes that are bigger and leaner not performing the same capacity. They're not winning competitions in the amateurs or the pros. And obviously it's early in the season. We'll see how this plays out. But this is definitely a time where it's a great time to get into bikini. If you were concerned about the direction of it, you thought it was looking too extreme, too intense, I would tell you right now, it's a good opportunity to get in here, get started, get going, because really it appears judges are going back to the roots of the division in all the ways. And that means great things across the board. It'll be more sustainable to compete. It'll be more fun to compete. It'll be better overall, you know, not having to sit there and build muscle for 5 years before you get on a bikini stage, right? That's not what we're looking at here. So really cool time for bikini. I want to know what you think. Drop it in the comments. Let me know. Do you agree? And what do you think of the placings? Do you want more Arnold This is the only bit of the Arnold Amateur Bikini I'm going to do as it sits today. I don't know how much more you want. There's other classes, but I think looking at this pretty much tells us what we need to know from the Arnold Amateur. If you have other competitions you want me to review or anything else, drop them in the comments. I always get to those, or any other video topics. If you want to learn more about prep, you want to learn more about posing, you want to learn more about building muscle, improvement season, drop your ideas. I literally take them, I put them on a list, I go hit those videos, all right? That's my goal. So thanks for watching. Coach Ryan is out.